Alright, sorry about that, folks. I just can't help but notice that my light is really, really bright. Anyway, welcome to an overdue vlog of the My Little Pony Season 5 reviews. Today's episode is Party Pooped. In this episode, Twilight Sparkle, or rather Princess Twilight Sparkle, is hosting a party for a country known as Yak-Yakistan for the prince and his two guards, and wants the prince to be absolutely delighted so that Yak-Yakistan and Equestria can kind of join together and form an alliance, make peace and all that fun stuff. And of course, she has Pinkie Pie help plan the whole party. Unfortunately, everything has to be perfect, otherwise the Yaks get really upset, and after failure after failure after failure, Pinkie Pie decides to go off to Yak-Yakistan and bring some of that country back to Ponyville, but inevitably fails. However, after her friends discover all the dedication that she puts into parties, they eventually decide to show the denizens of Yak-Yakistan what the wonderful world of Equestria has to offer. And to me, this episode kind of breaks even, teetering just onto the good side. My biggest problem with the episode is the humor involving the Yaks from Yak-Yakistan. And pretty much the running gag is, "Nothing is perfect, so we must destroy, smash, smash like impudent little children! Roar!" It was annoying upon arrival. And they do this, I forgot how many times they did it, but I think that's a good thing. I really like the designs of the Yaks, and I do like the ideas of Yaks, kind of becoming more and more part of Equestria. And, of course, the design of a baby Yak that Pinkie Pie rescues is just downright adorable. But aside from that, I just didn't like the way they were executed. Maybe it'll be like Griffins, maybe the first impression was lousy, second time it'll be more enjoyable and entertaining the way it was with Gustav, and of course it completely redeems the entire species with Gilda in the whole lost treasure of Griffinstone. Anyway, on to the highlight of the episode for me. Like I mentioned in the plot summary, it pretty much involves Pinkie Pie's friends discovering her secret stash of party supplies and cupcakes. No, not cupcakes, just kidding. Brodies who are very familiar with creepy fan fiction will probably know what I was joking about. And I feel dirty making that joke. If you know what I'm talking about, I feel sorry for you. If you don't, let's keep it that way, okay? But, yeah, it's just very touching to see how dedicated Pinkie Pie has committed her entire life to help making people smile, smile, smile. Yes, she does. I'm sorry, that's like my favorite song from the show, and that gives segue to Pinkie Pie. Yes, it is like halfway through the entire season, and I can finally talk more about the major characters. And in this episode, it's Pinkie Pie. As far as my thoughts towards Pinkie Pie, in terms of favorites to least favorites, she's somewhere in the middle. Okay, just to be clear, when it comes to the major characters in My Little Pony, I like all of them a lot. In fact, the lowest one, the character that's on the lowest end of the spectrum gets a B. Pinkie Pie gets like a B+ range, so somewhere in the middle. I really do like her enthusiasm, her optimism, the fact that she's practically a Looney Tune character, and I also really like the fact that Pinkie Pie does have a soft side. She'll get very upset if she doesn't satisfy others. She'll get genuinely sad when bad things happen, and she is afraid of failure. She's sort of repressing some sort of depression and is under the notion that she wants to be the happiest she could possibly be and might as well bring others for the ride. And I really like that attitude. I like that when it comes to characters. They have problems, so they use those problems to help others. My problem with Pinkie Pie is that sometimes, my problems with Pinkie Pie, sometimes her humor can be a little bit much. This was especially prevalent in Season 4, which a lot of fans argue was Pinkie Pie at her worst when she wasn't alongside Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic was in this show. That is an awesome episode. I suggest checking it out for some weird awesomeness. Anyway, my problem with Pinkie Pie is A, her humor can get a bit much sometimes, and B, people have a tendency to overgeneralize her style of humor. That being, she's random and she is a sworn enemy of the fourth wall, just like the Muppets. But this episode, Pinkie Pie really is what ultimately saved the episode. So overall, I thought this episode was okay, mainly because, Pinkie Pie was good, and the jokes not involving those yaks were absolutely fun. But all around, take it for what it is. If you're a Pinkie Pie fan, this is the must-watch. If you want to like Pinkie Pie, that's fine. But if you can't get past childish delinquency from the yaks, you're probably not going to make it. Though, on a side note, I think there is some sort of subtle, subliminal message behind the yak's behavior in terms of nerd culture. If you come across people who are very passionate about something in the past, and they come across a new iteration, and they're like, change bad, no, change is bad because it's not like my childhood. I'm not entirely guiltless of this attitude, but, at least I noticed what they were trying to go for. Maybe next time. I mean, there are plenty of times where the show tried their hand at a lesson or something in the earlier seasons, didn't do a good job at it, but managed to redeem themselves later. So, again, we're getting back up from Princess Spike. So right now, Princess Spike is the low point of Season 5, and so far the high point is the season premiere. Hopefully we'll keep the low point at Princess Spike, and hopefully an episode will top the season premiere. So, until next time, which will probably be in a few minutes, this is Joe Bag saying, see you next time, and don't forget to smile, smile, smile.